morning. I'm in El Paso, Texas, and today's going to be a busy day. I'm going to go get some breakfast. Probably not going to make it to the gym today, maybe later. But after breakfast, I'm heading immediately to a mechanic shop. I've decided to get an alignment. Recently purchased 6 new tires for the step van here, and since putting the tires in, I noticed it started pulling to the left. Well, originally I thought it was just the wind that was pulling it to the left, but there's been a couple of days with no wind, and I've noticed that, well, it's pulling to the left. So I'm going to take it in and get an alignment done. It's time to head out. I'm going to turn my little button, activate the batteries, and this particular step van does not have glow plugs. Instead, there's some sort of fuel heater, like I don't know whether it's a bar or how it works. I've tried to read on that, but basically instead of glow plugs here on the dash, you have indicator light for the fuel, and so this light will come on and then go off, and then it's okay to start the vehicle. I usually let it run for a few minutes before I take off. And those of you that have been following the step van conversion since I purchased the vehicle, I should mention that now it starts with 0 white cloud, assuming that your weather during the day is going to get up to 90 degrees and that you're starting in the upper 50s, 60s. However, if it gets cold, you get down in the 30s or 40s, still get a little bit of white cloud coming out. So I think that's probably something to do with oil or water vapor or something like that. But I'm not really as worried about that as I used to be. For me, the whole experience of driving a step van is like riding a Harley Davidson motorcycle. Now, you may question that and think, what the heck is he talking about? But if you think about the Harley Davidson, is a very large motorcycle, very loud, and a lot of the experience is the noise. It's so loud and it vibrates. Well, the step van, it vibrates too. There's a lot of noise. Going up a steep little hill there between the parking lots. So there's a lot of similarities. The Harley, the motorcycle experience, when you're riding it, you're exposed to the elements outside, so the weather plays a big part of when you ride. You want to ride when you have nice weather. If it's raining out, if it's snowing, not a fun experience. If you're, say, in the middle of the desert, 120 degrees, not a fun experience in the motorcycle. Riding faster when it's hot is better because you get the cool air. A lot of these things are very similar with the step van because you don't have your temperature control. So it's a little bit like your Harley Davidson. And it's a lot of fun. To ride a Harley Davidson, and it's a lot of fun to drive a step van. It's a big vehicle, it's a different driving experience, different size steering wheel. It's more tactile kind of an experience to drive this larger vehicle where you're worrying about all the extra space on the sides, getting things, it vibrates. It's just quite the experience, and it's not like driving your standard car, which is why people like to drive and ride Harley Davidsons. So I think there's a lot of parallels. It's a really fun experience, and interestingly enough, when you ride a Harley, after riding a Harley for an hour, 2 hours, something like that, it can start to get a little bit wearing, get a little bit brutal, and just sort of wear you down because it's such an intense experience on so many levels. The vibration, the exposure to the elements, sitting in the seat like you are, all of those kinds of things. A lot of those same things apply to a step van. So when I say that I enjoy driving the step van, it's it's a lot of those same things. It's an intense, fun experience, and I highly recommend it for anyone. It's just really a great time, and I thoroughly enjoy it. Even now, I thoroughly enjoy it. So anyway, I'm going to go in and get some breakfast here and then head out to get the alignment. I've arrived at Stanley Spring. This is the place that I've called to do the alignment. I talked to a guy yesterday, and hopefully they're able to take care of me. They open at 8, which is right now. I'm going to go inside and see if they're able to work on my vehicle. Went inside, a lady gave me a little yellow slip, told me to pull around to the back and ask for David. All parked in the back, just have to go find David. Well, they say there's a 3-hour wait. There's 2 vehicles in front of me, so I'm going to grab my computer and do some work. I was going to mention that a few of you commented on the seating situation here in the step van, and talking about putting a pivoting captain's chair in the space up here in the front. So basically, step vans are unlike normal vehicles in that they have these nice steps here that you can go down to enter into the vehicle. But as you notice, the steps are exactly where you would place the seat for the passenger side. So you have the driver's side seat here, and you would put that box that the captain's chair would rotate on right exactly where these steps are. So it's not really possible. So the way they get around that is they put this partition wall in here, and right here on this piece of side place, this side of the steps here, is where they mount 2 pieces of 1-inch tubing, square tubing, and that tubing goes up maybe 2.5 feet, something like that, and then they mount a flip down chair on that spot. So that's the jump seat. And that way that seat just comes into the space hanging over these steps, and that's the way they get around it, so that it's more or less lined up with the driver's seat. So you can see the complications with mounting a captain's chair there. Guys are working here on the step van, and they tell me that I need new bearings, new tie rods, and probably new springs, and that it's pulling a little bit to the right because of the springs. They say the springs are sagging. They basically say that they would have to order the parts, and so they would have to wait on the parts to come in. So I think I'm going to put off doing this work until I get to Colorado. They say I can drive it right now. It's just a matter of doing this sooner or later. So I think I'm going to wait until I get to Colorado so I have a friend's place to stay and I can leave this for a few days and order the parts. They're super cool here. Stanley Spring. There's no cost for them. I waited about 3 hours, but no cost to me for all the work that they did, the diagnostic. So I know several things that I need to have done. I'm going to have those done in Denver once I arrive up there. That was certainly a nice experience going to the alignment place, the Stanley Spring place here in El Paso. It's just incredible for mechanics to offer advice like that, not charge me anything and let me walk away. I'm just really impressed. I've had so many experiences with mechanics in the past trying to take advantage of me. It's refreshing. Gonna get some lunch, and after that I think I'm gonna find a coffee shop, do a little bit of work, some video editing, and try to get to the gym this afternoon. About a week ago I had an incident as I was departing from Austin, from Stan's house. I was waving goodbye, thanking him for letting me stay at his place for so long, and I went to back out to take off to depart, and I actually clipped his mailbox. It was sort of devastating way to actually leave Austin. Anyway, many people have encouraged me, and this is actually on my list of items. I have a big long list of things to buy to get a backup camera. So again today, facing with similar issue here, backing up at Starbucks. I'm hanging over the sidewalk all the way up and just touching the little plants right over here. I really want to get a backup camera. I've looked online, I've shopped, but I'm not finding what I want. So an idea, a light bulb moment came into my head. Why not ask the internet world? Why not ask you for your help? Maybe you know about this camera. Maybe it exists. What I want is 2 monitors. One that I can put up near the driver's seat so I can see when I'm driving to back up, and a second monitor to be in the back cab living space area near the bed. The reason I want that second one is, let's say you're sleeping in the middle of the night, somebody decides to come bang on your door, animals or bears or coyotes are rummaging around, maybe Sasquatch is out there, whatever it is, you can lean over, just look up and push a little button and see what's going on and see that it's just the wind in a plastic bag. So I want 2 monitors. I also want something else special. Instead of just one video camera up here on the back for backing up, I want 4 video cameras. I want one on the front going forward. I want one on the left and the right and the back. This way, if I'm sitting in the back, I'm reading a book during the day, I can see everything that's happening outside. I can see what's going on all the way around 360. Part of that is because I don't have as many windows. Part of it is also security. During the night, everything's blacked out. You want to see what's going on outside you. See if somebody's checking out your vehicle, somebody's messing with the gas cap, whatever they're doing. You have 4 monitors to see outside. And if possible, I'd like to have some sort of night vision on it. That would be my dream surveillance backup camera situation. If you know of something that exists like this, I'd love to see it. I only found one on Amazon, and this was an Asian company, nothing wrong with that. But I looked at the reviews and they had absolutely terrible reviews. And apparently the guy keeps removing the item and listing it with a slightly different name so that he can get fresh reviews. But when I looked elsewhere online, I saw that the range of the Wi-Fi is so short that it doesn't even reach from the front dashboard to the back bumper on a normal van. So that's not the camera, that's not the system for me. But if you know of a good one, better quality, let me know. Wow, we are having some crazy wind this afternoon. I had to move over here. This is the most sheltered place that I could find with a building blocking the wind. But the whole van was just rocking back and forth, and it is even rocking now. You can hear it, and I'll let you see outside how bad it is. I looked online and it said it's like 40-mile-an-hour winds, but I've seen 40-mile-an-hour winds before. This is much higher than that. This is probably up over 60, something like that. It's pretty intense. I think it's difficult for people to walk. Like, look at these people. Yeah, that guy wouldn't be able to keep his cap on. I'm going to go in here to Jason's Deli. I've actually never been there, and they've got Wi-Fi, and get a little something to eat or drink and do some video editing. That's all I have for this episode. Savor the moment. See you next episode.